Here at Mystery Game Fight Club, our whole thing is tournaments where games are chosen at random. But undoubtedly, our favorites are those that are janky, weird, or are so off the beaten path like it's not even on the map. So here's a list of some of the most ridiculous fighting games we've come across in our adventures.
I'm Jackie Chan. This is my game.
How many Jackie Chans in one video game, would you say, is too many? Because this game has 3 of them. This Kaneko-developed arcade game features not only Jackie himself, but martial arts actors that appeared in his films. Some mechanics have been borrowed from SNK games like Art of Fighting and Fatal Fury, plus a mishmash of others like auto combo strings, pursuit attacks, and even finishing blows like you would see in Samurai Showdown. I guess because it's Jackie's game.
I'm Jackie Chan. This is my game.
He was the producer after all. He cannot be harmed in the same way that his co-stars can.
You're getting better.
Matches are fast-paced, damage is high, and full of that 90s charm of adding fire and explosions to everything to make it look cooler. And Jackie Chan.
I'm Jackie Chan. This is my game.
Mortal Kombat popularized digitizing actors, and games that tried to capitalize on Midway's success, well, didn't have much luck. Case in point, here's Survival Arts, published by Sammy. The same Sammy who would later merge with Sega to become Sega Sammy. The 2 dominant fighting games at the time were of course Street Fighter II and Mortal Kombat. So why not incorporate elements from both?
So crazy. It just might work.
Spoilers? Not really. Yes, it has the 6-button control scheme of Capcom and all the spectacle of Midway's offerings, but not much else. The roster has that trademark mid-90s style of spandex, jumpsuits, and workout clothes that was so prevalent in that era. My favorite costume design has to be Dantel, who vaguely resembles a singer in a hair metal band wearing a cape. Damage goes way over the top, with some specials knocking out 50% or more without any limits whatsoever. And when you bring a Viper Beam to a fist fight, things can get real nasty real quick. It's this near-total lack of fighting game design philosophy that makes Survival Arts memorable. This level of jank really warms my heart. Releasing on the PlayStation 2 in the Japanese and European markets, this unconventional 3D fighter puts you in control of construction equipment, like cranes and bulldozers, to hash out your differences. The controls are not especially intuitive, opting for the tank controls found in early PlayStation 1 games like Silent Hill or Resident Evil.
What a heap of junk! The controls on this thing suck!
There is a guard button and 3 attack buttons for your left, right, or straight ahead. Some of the vehicles are more difficult to get a hold of than others, with the more maneuverable vehicles like forklifts having an obvious advantage over a steamroller that cannot turn or move as quickly. There are super moves, adding a layer of over-the-top absurdity in an already ridiculous game.
Taste of the ocean! And that's that!
But the star of the show is the story mode, where rival construction companies battle for dominance inside of machines that have no business in the arena.
Congo crew. Bid accepted.
Ha! You ready for another meeting with Congo?
I guarantee you'll never look at a backhoe the same way again. When you picture the first fighting game on the original PlayStation, what are you thinking of? Maybe a port of Street Fighter? How about Battle Arena Toshinden? That one is pretty early. Nope. It was a Japanese exclusive title called Twin Goddesses, featuring, you guessed it, digitized actors. Well, sometimes. Only 3 characters are digitized and the rest are animated. If you are going through single player, it's a jarring visual difference and the actors stick out like sore thumbs. It seems to me like this project began life as something else entirely, that pivoted during production into a fighting game. The bones of a Henshin-themed story are here that just doesn't seem fully realized. The fighting is reasonable for its time, with 2 attacks and a magic button reserved for projectiles and managed by a meter. Before each match, you can buy some power-ups to help you get through some of the tougher matchups, or make versus mode more interesting. It's a pretty easy to digest casual game that fans of this particular niche can appreciate. And man, that soundtrack goes hard too. Developer Taito, known for their huge variety of arcade games, released a fighter with stop-motion dinosaurs that predates Primal Rage by more than a year. This was Dino Rex, and it's so bonkers that you can't help but love it, at least a little bit. For me, it starts with this Tyrannosaur that reminds me of the one in the 70s film titled Caveman, starring Ringo Starr and Shelley Long. Then there's the screeching. Oh God, the screeching. You can charge your power bar by holding up and back on the stick, and they just scream the entire time. There are 2 attack buttons, and when pressed together, you get an attack that depends on how much meter you burn with it. The inputs for specials usually look like a random assortment of directions in a button, especially for what they do. And good luck guarding against any of it. You're supposed to hold down on the stick to guard, but even that doesn't work all the time. How this game got a modern release on the Switch, I'll never know. But I'm glad that it did. You know those ideas that are so obvious you wish you'd thought of them yourself? Fight of Animals just takes a bunch of animal memes and has them square off in one-on-one matches. When you think about it, the idea has practically limitless potential given how much the internet loves unusual animal photos and quirky names for them. You've got classics like Slender Cat, Mighty Fox, Egg Dog, Crowrilla, and more. There isn't a ton of depth here, so it's a great casual game to play with friends for a few laughs. Although, that's not to say that you can't come up with some impressive combinations if you're willing to dig just beneath the surface. Digital Crafters made a few other games, including another satirical fighter, Fight of Gods, where you can have Santa Claus fighting Jesus Christ. Their third fighter, Fight of Steel, tries to take itself a bit more seriously though. Back in the 16-bit era, if you wanted to articulate a complex character, developers often animated several sprites to create the illusion of a single thing. A popular method for doing this was using several orbs or spheres. So when you want to make a 3D fighter on consoles that absolutely can't handle 3D graphics, you get balls. Originally releasing on the Genesis and Super Nintendo, A director's cut with enhanced visuals later came to Panasonic's 3DO. Although, no matter which version you play, movement is clunky, and sometimes it's hard to tell exactly what's going on, especially when the fighting gets in close. This is a game that knows exactly what it is, with its tongue-in-cheek humor, cast of bizarre characters, and uncomplicated fight system. Despite what the game tells you, it's not necessary to have balls to be a champion, but you do have to play with them.
Oi! Oi! Oi!
Did you think we were done with digitized actors? Well, too bad, because this one takes the cake and it's not even close. Like, why is this random missile here on the title screen? It has nothing to do with anything. I've seen fighting games where some characters aren't wearing a lot of clothes, but this is the first time I've seen a game where everyone is wearing tidy whities. Some of them loosely follow fighting game archetypes, but a lot of them are just... What are you doing? Where some of the games on this list are barely fighting games, Brief Karate Foolish decided to actually put some mechanics in here. We've got dodging, air guarding, EX specials, air combos, jump cancels. Am I actually having a good time? I think I might be having fun. Oh no. Anyway, this thing released on Steam for free, so I don't know, man. Think about it, I guess. Maybe give it a shot. This developer is still making games, most of them doujin shoot-em-ups, but this is their only fighting game to date. And that's a real shame. I want to see this Catman in another game. So there you have it, a list of some of the silliest fighting games we've come across. Let me know what you thought and if there are any goofy fighters that you've played.
I'm Jackie Chan. This is my game.
For now, I've been Tom from Mystery Game Fight Club, and I'll see you around. Toodles!